Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Today, we're going to talk about those universal laws that are actually the ones that you need. It's not just the law of attraction if you want to manifest stuff, right? So, just hands up, or give me a thumbs up, or just acknowledge to yourself who has ever made a vision board? Or who has ever written down some affirmations? Or who's done anything around manifesting stuff? And they've done all the activities, they've followed all the instructions, they've done everything, and they still get to that point of, why isn't this working? Yeah? It's actually more common than you think. And I used to do that a lot, all right? And here's the thing, you are not doing anything wrong. It's just that you've only been given one piece of the puzzle and you've been told to make a picture. Okay? So everyone talks about the law of attraction, but the real magic actually happens when you understand how the other laws work with it. Okay? They all need to be working together to create the manifestations that you want. You are actually already a master manifester, okay? The problem is that often we're manifesting what we don't want versus what we do want, okay? So these not very much talked about laws are the ones that are working in the background to make your manifestations happen. So what I'm going to do on this live is walk you through, there's 12, all right? I'm going to walk you through 3 of the most powerful but lesser known laws. And these 3 universal laws, when you understand how they work and you apply them, all right, you understand the rules of the game and you play within the rules, it's going to transform how you manifest and what you manifest, all right? Once you get this, things are just going to start clicking into place faster. It's smoother and you're going to have more consistency, because this is what we want to do. We want to consciously create our reality. We want to consciously make decisions and choices and actions that move us towards what we want. Okay? All right, so the first law I want to talk about is the law of vibration. Now, this one is so important. In my opinion, this is the law that you have to understand, because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you vibrate. Everything vibrates. If you're more of a sciencey person, you'll understand that everything has a vibration, everything has a frequency. All right. So I want to just put this into words that you can relate to a little bit more. So this is where, have you ever had one of those days, right, where everything just flows? You're in a good mood, people smile at you, things go your way, you're hitting all the traffic lights, everything is just cruising along. Now that's you vibrating at this high level, and the universe is matching that frequency. So bringing all of these things that keep that vibration, that match that frequency, keep you in that good mood. So everything just boom, boom, boom. It's like no matter what you touch, it turns to gold, okay? Now, then we've got those days where maybe you wake up and you're a little bit grumpy. Then you spill your cup of tea. Then you forget your keys. And then, you get all the red lights and everything just snowballs. All right? You're not cursed. You are just vibrating at a lower frequency. And so the things that match that frequency have to be attracted into your reality. That's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Okay, so can you see how those two are so important? They work together. So it's what you are vibrating. That's what is really important. So the big question, how do we shift it? How do we shift our vibe? I keep thinking of the castle, it's the vibe, it's the vibe. It's Marbo, no, it's the vibe. And that's it. So anyway, how do you shift it? So before you do anything, and this is going to lead into the next law that I'm going to talk about as well. But before you do anything, before you do your visualizations, before you do your affirmations, before you start your day, before you do any little segment of your day, before you go into a meeting, before you get into the car, oh, my sign just fell down. I want you just to take a couple of minutes, even if it's only 30 seconds, to raise your vibration. And so how do you do that? You do it any way that makes you feel good. You listen to some music that gets you going. You dance. You watch a funny cat video. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. You go and stand out in nature. You get the sun on your face. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever lifts that spirit, whatever makes you just go, you know what, life is good, and you smile and you laugh. That's what you have to do. Okay, that is raising your vibration. Just doing something simple like that. Now you got to keep it there though, by not then going and thinking, oh, now I've got to go and do blah blah blah. That's going to bring your vibe down. We get to do things. We get to make choices. If you're on your way to work, you get to go to work. Other people don't have jobs. You get to go. You get to make a difference. So it's up to you then to find something to appreciate in the next thing that you're doing, the next segment of your day that you're doing. Find something to appreciate, because that's going to help you to keep that vibration up as well. And then you're going to take some actions. All right, because like the example I said before, when you're vibing at a higher frequency and you're taking the actions, it's causing more things to come at that same frequency. If you're vibing at that lower frequency and then you're taking the actions, you're getting the things that match that lower frequency. Okay, I'm hoping this is making sense. All right, it really is this simple. If you've been in a habit of going the other way and perhaps, the glass half empty sort of position, it's going to take a beat to get you to turn the needle to where you want to be. And that's okay. That's okay. It takes as long as it takes. And you are the one that controls the speed of that as well. So that's really good news. All right. So remember, start your day like the universe is already on your team, and it will be. All right. And it doesn't just mean the start of the day. You do it every single moment in every little segment of your day where your vibe has dipped. Okay. You get to choose, all right, am I going to stay in this lower vibration, or am I going to do something about it? All right. Okay. The next law I want to talk to you about is the law of inspired action. So I've already sort of talked about it. You've got to take action, okay? You can't just sit there and do your vision board and have your beautiful house and your holiday and, the car and whatever else it is that you want on your vision board. Yes, you've got to know what you want. Then you've got to feel good about it. Then you've got to take some action, all right? Even if you want to win all that stuff, you still have to go and buy the ticket. All right, there is some sort of action, but the secret is to be taking the action where you are already feeling good. You have to do something though. You can't just sit there. It's not just going to poof all of a sudden appear in your driveway. You've got to take some actions. So if you're not happy in your job, you want a new job. Even if you are happy and you want to just advance, you want to expand, fantastic. That's all well and good, but if you don't actually do something about it, if you don't update your resume, if you don't go and apply for jobs, it's not going to just fall into your lap. You do even, going out and having these serendipitous meetings and with people, you're still actually taking an action. You're going out, you're talking to someone, okay? So there has to be some sort of action where it is inspired action, so you're feeling good, and then you take an action, okay? If you want that new job, feel good. Don't even have to feel good about a job. Feel good, and then take your action. Feel good, update your CV. Feel good, go and have a look for positions that you could possibly have. All right? So when you start taking these little steps, even if it feels a little bit scary, this is when the opportunities appear out of nowhere. All right. They're not out of nowhere. They're responding to your movement, they're responding to your vibration. So if you do get a little bit stuck, just think, okay, well, what would future me do today? And just do one thing, just one thing. It doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be inspired and it comes from the higher vibration. All right. And what that does is it's telling the universe that I'm serious. This is what I want to do. It's like when you start thinking about, okay, I want to buy a blue Honda. All of a sudden you see these blue Hondas everywhere. It's telling the universe that you're serious about what it is you want. Okay. So action isn't pressure, it's permission. Okay, now the third law that I want to touch on in this particular live is the law of cause and effect. So, this is essentially saying every result that you are living today is an effect of a decision, of an action, of something you did, something you didn't do. Okay, so this is where you get to look at, okay, well, what caused it? So, if you want to have more money, but your current habit is to avoid looking at your bank balance or avoiding the bills, or maybe you're jumping online and getting onto Shein and doing late night shopping. These are the causes creating the results that you don't want. Does that make sense? So if you then, on the other side of things, if you start to create habits that match your goals, that match what you want in your life, you are being intentional. Okay, be intentional with your time, be intentional with your money, be intentional with your energy. These intentional choices and actions on that higher vibration are going to get you different effects. Does that make sense? You're going to get a different result. So this is where you can start to take a look at your daily habits. What do you do? Because a lot of the stuff we do is very unconscious. We've been doing it for so long, it just happens. And we wake up 10 years later and go, what the hell? Where's the last 10 years gone? Nothing's changed. So have a look at your daily habits. And I say this in all of my lives that I do. Awareness is key for anything. If you are not happy with how things are going, you have to be aware of that before you're able to do something about it. So look at what you do every day. Look at what your thoughts are. Look at what your actions are. What do you do? What do you not do? Are they aligned with the life that you say that you want? Are your actions going to get you to where you want to be, or are they going to get you more of the same of what you don't want? Okay, so this is there's no judgment in this. This is all just awareness to then be able to make a change. What's that quote? So, yeah, I'm famous for butchering quotes. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So that's what we're talking about here. Okay. So the life you're living today is a delayed reflection of your past causes. You can change it though. So that's the good news. You can start to plant new seeds today. Okay. So let me just wrap this up for you guys. If you're wondering why your manifestation sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't, and look, it's always working. Sometimes it's what we want, sometimes it's not what we want, is more an accurate description of it. Okay. The law of attraction isn't broken. You just need to plug in, you just need to understand the rules of the game and play by the rules. Okay. We all understand the rules of gravity and we play by the rules of gravity. We know the consequences of not playing by the rules of gravity. It is the same concept here. You just need to understand the rules, play by the rules. So you can start by applying just these three laws that I've talked about today. All right, so vibration, action, cause and effect. If you just start with those, it's going to change your reality. You will feel more in that flow. You'll have more confidence. You'll feel like the powerful creator that you actually are. Okay? Manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. Alignment with your vibration, alignment with your goals, and taking those actions, making those decisions that are all in that alignment. All right. Okay, so I hope this is making sense to you guys. If this is quite interesting and you've gone, oh, I'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I want to go a little bit deeper into that, I actually host a tribe. It's every Wednesday in the Sacred You group, and it's all about mastering the law of attraction. So I'm going to pop the link in the comments. So if you want to have a click on that and have a look and join that community. It's a Sacred You is a global community that is designed to empower women all over the world. Okay, and I am one part of that community. So in my Mastering the Law of Attraction tribe, I break down these concepts, what we're talking about. I break them down each week. We turn them into habits. Okay, we support each other in raising our vibration and creating the results that you want. Because you don't have to figure this out alone. Come join my tribe. Let's manifest. Let's do it smarter, not harder. All right. Have an amazing day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.